What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to take a look at some of the videos that you're seeing on YouTube as far as hair system installs and give my perspective on why some of them might be good or bad, or like what's working, what isn't working, and things to look for as you're getting your hair system and the install and the hairstyle and just some things that you may not have thought about. So a little bit of background before we begin. My mom was a hairdresser. She was a hairstylist, so growing up she taught me a lot of this stuff naturally, which I feel very blessed to have. And I've always been fascinated with hair. So this right here is just my opinion. I can't say this is absolute or fact, but it's just some of the things that I notice. Now, I'm going to be producing a couple different types of content, and one of them is I want to do a fan mail Friday, or on Fridays I want to make a video that's addressing a question that you have, whether it's like, hey, this is my situation, or hey, this is something I want to know about, and I make a piece of content based off of that. So leave a comment below, like, subscribe, but definitely leave that comment below that says, hey, this is my question, and the one with the most likes, I will produce a piece of content on Friday. So the first one that we're going to be looking at right here is going to be Bald Man Tries Semi-Permanent Hair Replacement. This is by BuzzFeed. So this is what he looks like, and you know, not a bad looking dude, right? Like he's cool. He's got a good look, but we can definitely see he's missing some hair right there. That's good. All right. So this right here is the like right after look of him getting a hair transplant, and what's really interesting about this. So I think it's really good. Um, there's some things I really like about it. One is the density right up here seems to kind of it's lighter, right? Which I think is a good way to start having a more realistic hair system. Is not going too heavy, right? Especially as a white male, not all of our hair, natural hair, bio hair, was that dense and thick to begin with. And although we might want to have Justin Bieber hair, that's just not what's going to look natural on us. One thing that Curtis from Hair System says that I really love is, you'll never look more natural. You'll never look more natural than how you were born. So I think that's awesome. Some things to note though. I don't. I get why they do this with a lot of people, and when they're showing their hair system install, but these sides are so faded. Like they're so thin. Not thin, but they're so short. Here's the thing, like that's a style that's going around, the undercut, but it's actually not, in my opinion, the best style for a hair system if you want to kind of have that subconscious look, right? And there's also chances for things to go wrong along the sides over here, not just the front hairline. You're basically making a three-sided front hairline when you have short sides like this right here. And although it's a way to get around having your first hair system if you've been keeping your hair really short, I personally, I don't recommend it. So let's take a look a little bit further, and we can see this is a little bit later, right? His hair is grown out on the sides right here. You can see it, there's more fullness. Now I don't, no, this is probably the same hair system because of this just like sticking straight up. Now this is a good look, right? I think he looks pretty good. I do think, however, that this is tough to explain, but I think it looks top heavy. And what I mean by that, right, is that once again, it's so short on the sides that up top it draws your eye there, because if you think about it from like a design perspective, it's like very short, and then it just says like, hey, look at this right here. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, but it's drawing attention, in my opinion, to the wrong places for his face shape, and just like to be a little bit more subconscious with this. I do think in this, the density, it looks really full. The other thing that I would note is like right here, this whole like ray thing, it draws the eye all to one spot, right? Because it's like the origin point, if you will, right here. And this is us being like hyper conscious about our hairline, because this is something we're working with. It just, because it draws the eye right here, and then your eye kind of looks at this line right here. It's a natural contrast line from skin to hair, and I think that I just don't think it's the best choice to have something that draws so much attention to one point and then have like a exposed hairline. It's not bad, but it just could be better. But overall, it's pretty good, right? So this next one I wanted to address, right, is the Haydeck hair systems. It's got a lot of views, so probably good quality, right? People like it. So this is what this dude looks like before, and he's a good looking dude, right? Like, just without hair, he's handsome. Like, that's cool. Um, let's take a look at the final result real quick. Looks really good, right? He just it's a good match, I think, of density. Um, I want to break this down though a little bit before we start getting into the nitty gritty, because I do think that there are some things to critique. Not that this guy looks bad, but let's just take it a little analysis of this. Okay, so let's go into here. Let's watch this. Okay. Wow, like this shot is incredible. As as someone who's in marketing and advertising and doing film work, this right here sends such a message to the viewer about how good they are at this. Like, so what I want to draw your eye to is this whole section right here. First off, the blend, amazing, right? Like, talking about getting the density right and the thinning right, but also just, man, matching that fade perfectly. Like, you see it's starting to get like a little bit more lengthy right here, and then down through the back, and the color is just perfect. But also the texture is almost like perfect, perfect, perfect. The I think to us we might be able to see that, like, hey, this is kind of the hairline right here. And that's just strictly because we know kind of how these hair systems work, but I don't think that this is something that is commonplace to a viewer. Like, they would be able to see it and recognize. Man, so good. Oh man, once again, look at this. It's dang near perfect. You can see kind of where the hair system is falling a little bit, like in through this region, and you know what? That's okay. Like, this is such nitpicky stuff. You can kind of see like a little bit of the texture difference, but it's so close, and the density is just amazing. Like, I think even from such a close angle, even this hairline, right, is just, it's really well done. So I really enjoy this. I think it's probably one of the better ones out there. However, here's one thing I will say, right? So if we look at this, once again, there is this, there's like this Pompadour undercut look that it draws the eye to right here because it's short and then it gets very, very long. And this is just a natural contrast line. Like, it comes whoop, whoop, whoop. And I don't think necessarily that's always the best look. And I think more gentle fades are easier to mask and cover over. So I this is just my opinion, guys. There's a lot of people who probably disagree with me. The undercut is a look, and a look that a lot of people use. If we look at it, it looks great. No offense to this guy, but this, it just looks, something looks a little, ever so slightly unnatural. And once again, this is just nitpicking right here. I think the density is dang near perfect for this guy. If we look right here, I think that this line is maybe a little too perfect, if you will. Like, I think it should have a little bit more recession, in my opinion. I don't know why, but he can get away with it because he has like that Slavic look, and sometimes they have like really, really perfect hairlines. But overall, I think a little bit of recession is better. And I haven't tried Curtis's systems from hair experience, but from what I see, he does have the custom hairline that he's built that has a little recession built in. So it's something to try out. All right, let's take a look at this guy right here. So, hair systems Manchester. they're just getting it fitted, right? Like, okay, that's cool. I dig it. Let's check this out. He's getting an install, getting a cut. Okay, let's take a look at this right here. Wow, this hairline is like flawless. Like, this is incredible. I'm on HD right now, and it's just, it looks so good. This hairline looks, the density is perfect for this guy. Also, the contour of the hairline for his shape and for, I think, also his ethnicity is just money. It's absolute money. But here's the thing that we want to address. Okay, it's the same exact problem over and over again inside of this video, and probably sound like a broken record at this point. I don't know why everyone is doing such dramatic fades. It's just, I think this is something that we need to get away from for our own good. Like, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want, but if we take a look at this again, let it play, just like look at it. Like, his sides are so short, and there's such a dramatic fade right at this line, right? And what does this line draw your eye toward? Right here. And it's all of the spots that the hairline, or that our eyes, we could say we don't want to draw people towards necessarily, to hide it, because these are all the attachment points, right? And it's just, I get what people are doing, and it's a look. I don't think it's the best look for people necessarily. Like, it has to be so perfect, and it has to be managed too at the same time. Managed as in, like, going on regular appointments to get the fade updated, you know. So like, let's look at this right here, right? So I like this right here, like the translucentness of this right here is really cool. uh, I'm not a fan of this hard line right here. Like, it just speaks to me and says, why? Why is this so hard? Like, are you purposefully trying to create that shape, or is this, you couldn't do better? That's just my opinion. Um, Sorry if I'm being a little bit judgmental here, guys. Overall, I think it's a good look. I do think it's pretty good, but I just, it's got so much, it's so top heavy. It's so top heavy, and it really draws your eye, sorry about that, towards this, towards the lines that we're trying to get people away from. And who knows, maybe people want that. But I want to show you an example of something that's really great, and I will probably always use Filda's hair. I wish I was in New York City so I could work with him, because he's amazing. Let's look at this guy right here, right? So looks good, looks good. Man, first off, like, styling wise, okay, let's address this. What's going on here? There's front hairline, so there's some hairline exposed, which I think draws like this. It feels natural, right? Like, it's not trying to be something that it's not, and it's just subversive. It's like, yeah, here's my hairline, but also I'm gonna hide a little bit. Like, it's nice and swept. There's some messiness which draws the eye up. There's verticality to it, and there's this amazing blend in through here that, like, from the, let's see if we can get a side angle. Let's look at that side angle right there, right? Like, wow, that looks, it looks so good. Now you can tell a little bit, if one is to really diagnose this, that there is kind of a little bit of a hair length difference here, I think. But just like his blending and thickness, as far as like what they do with the hair systems, is they take thinning shears, right, to kind of blend in the density, I think, a little bit on the sides. And this right here, this little forward swept thing looks really great, because it, from what we got going on right here, like, there's this hard line, and this looks super natural, right? And then of course the hair system starts in through this area right here, but this kind of masks that, right? And then you get a little bit of this right here, but you can't, like, it doesn't let light and the eye, like, look through. I think it's the looking through that kind of makes it a little bit, that's a little strange. And if we look at this close up, like, oh my gosh, man, it is beautiful. And once again, we have over here, like, a little bit of the deception, and just a lot of the organic, natural stuff right here. It looks so good. Hair color is on point. The styling for this guy is on point. It might not be the right look for you, but it's good. It's got this like mix of messiness with cleanliness that says like, hey, I. It's just got a lot of texture, a lot of body, which is cool too, but not like unnatural body where it's been like super processed, in my opinion. And I know it's a look, but to me, this right here is got a very processed, very perfect look. And we're not trying to go for the perfect look here, guys. We're trying to go for the natural and organic look, if you will. We're manufacturing organicness, if you will. Tagline for my future business, right? Manufactured organicness. But so you can see, like, let's just take a look, right? Let's take a look at this. Now, let's compare it. Just let's go back to this. Like, can you see the difference? Can you feel it? It's something, it's not just a see, it's also a feel. It's this very like intuitive, like on the dot, like in the pocket type feeling. It's like music, the way that all the different hair pieces work together and how it's perfectly designed. So no offense to anybody inside of these videos. I hope I'm not offending anybody. Just some things to think about. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment below and upvote the favorite one you have for like a Fan Mail Friday, like a question that you want answered, because I'm going to start answering those for you. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and can't wait to see you in the next one.